Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Shout out to all the subscribers as always, and shout out to anybody new locked in as well. Gratitude to all. Let's talk about this fight, Henry Lebron versus Christopher Diaz. This is an excellent fight. This is actually next Saturday on the Boots Avanesyan undercard, and this is a great fight because just the timing of it. You've got the highly touted prospect Henry Lebron, undefeated, silky, southpaw, decorated amateur from Puerto Rico. Then you have Christopher Diaz, who is only 29 years old right now, but he feels like a little bit of a veteran. He's fought at the top level. He has come up a little bit short, but man, this guy is extremely tough. And stylistically, the matchup where you have a pressure fighter with Diaz, who can box as well, but he can counter punch as well, but he likes to put the pressure on against a silky back foot fighter, typically with a great counter punch in Henry Lebron. And the question is, how much pressure can Diaz apply, and can he get to Henry Lebron to break him down maybe late? We're going to get into all the details of this fight. Let's go.
Nice left from Henry Lebron. Triple shot there. You're bound to happen again. Here comes the jab. Slip inside. Boom! Goes the dynamite, and the lights went off.
It's separation, and they can only create that.
Oh, there it is.
By landing shots like that more often. And did you see that left hand that he just threw?
Good combination from Diaz.
Boxing. Okay, so yeah, excellent fight. I love this fight, I really do. I actually thought it was this Saturday. I was going to make a video about it yesterday, and I was like, wait, it's not till next week. But I'll do this anyway because, you know, why not? But I just find this fight fascinating because I do like to see a prospect tested, you know, that I think we all do. And in fact, in Henry Lebron's last fight, he was tested a little bit against William Foster III.
De Los Santos fade with pressure and that body work, and that's a nice long right hand that lands perfectly on the chin of Lebron. And here comes a left hook.
He was winning the fight quite clearly, smooth counter punching, boxing off the back foot, and, you know, just neutralizing Foster quite nicely. But, you know, the Foster started to land quite heavily in the 6th round.
Things are heating up here in round number 6. And here comes the pressure from Foster. Yep. The onslaught of punches on Henry Lebron.
And he started to apply that pressure, and I think he hurt Lebron a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, even the commentators were saying, well, now it's time to step up and show some grit. And actually, Henry Lebron turned that round around with 2 tremendous body shots, really dug in and like, you know, felt a sense of urgency, I think.
He was getting to get him to this point.
Yes.
On the way in.
Oh, he hurt him with a body shot. LeBron just hurt him with a body shot. Ooh, another
body shot to the solar.
Oh, he hurt him with that. I think he found something.
And that, to me, was a great fight for him to fight this fight, because Diaz, I think, is a better fighter than William Foster III. No disrespect to him, just in terms of the level he's fought at as well. You know, he's only lost, well, he's lost 4 times. He's only been stopped once. Now, in this time he stopped it, I'm just gonna show these clips because it warmed my heart so much. It's like I love fighters like Christopher Diaz, because he was fighting Navarrete, right? 2021, I think. He was getting, you know, beaten up a little bit. He got dropped twice.
This is just so hard to defend against. The uppercut right up the middle. You think that you covered up.
Back goes Diaz, and coming forward like a freight train comes Navarrete.
He was bloodied up and battered. You know, he was landing a few shots himself, but he was losing the fight quite clearly. And as I said, he was quite badly hurt. He'd taken a bit of a beating. And in the 12th round, with about a minute or 2 minutes to go, he is fighting for his life.
Diaz continues to snowplow forward and just punch and hope and look for something.
Trying to win, trying to knock Navarrete out. He understood he needed a knockout.
He's thinking back of how hard it took him to get here. He's thinking about his kids. He's thinking about everything right now in his life.
He understood it. He needed to do something drastic, and he was exhausted. He was hurt. He was bleeding, and he let it hang out. I can't tell you the amount of respect I have for that. And I was thinking to myself, wow, that doesn't really, like, it's kind of crazy that it's that rare to see that fighters really go for it when they're down. And then Andre Ward said this:
Diaz gave everything that he had. You rarely see this in a boxing ring. You hear fighters talk about giving it everything they had.
And that just about sums it up.
But until you put yourself in harm's way and risk getting knocked out or beat up, you haven't given everything that you have. Diaz did that.
And that's like, you know, I would rather see a fighter be 10-0.
He came here to win a championship. Sometimes you don't leave with the championship. You don't leave with the victory, but you leave with your respect, and Diaz did that tonight.
I would rather see a fighter be 10-0 with 10 losses, fight like that, than a fighter be 10-0 with 10 wins and just beat a bunch of people that he's supposed to beat and knock out a bunch of cab drivers or whatever. You know, I got more respect for Christopher Diaz doing that. I mean, that takes something. You know, he was fighting for his life in there, and that was an interesting blueprint to this fight, because he's not going to quit. He's not going to ever stop trying to win, and which it makes it interesting because he's going to keep applying that pressure. Now, Henry Lebron, really good, cute, silky boxer. You know, as I mentioned, southpaw. He's got a very lovely check hook.
And looking to counter right away, like you see right there with that right hook.
As a good counter punch, he likes to whip that left hand into the body as well. And he's also got a beautiful combination where he shoots a right hook to the body, right hook to the head.
Give your opponent a rest either. Nice body shot from Lebron with the right hook.
And he's got to turn Diaz a little bit. You know, I think it's just a question for me is Henry Lebron's probably going to be able to outbox Diaz for quite a large amount of this fight, right? Diaz in himself is actually a sneaky little counter puncher.
They're bound to happen again. Here comes the jab, slip inside, boom! Bam. Goes the dynamite, and the lights went off.
So if you leave your jab out there too long, if you leave a shot out there, if you telegraph it a little bit, he can slip to the side and counter it, no problem.
Jab of Navarrete.
That's what you need to do. You need to time it. Navarrete, he shoots his punches from his hip.
He's done it several times. I'll pull up some clips as I'm talking. So LeBron's got to be a bit more shifty with his shots, right? He can't leave them out there, and he can't, you know, telegraph them a little bit. Not that he does anyway. Particularly, he's got quite a smooth style. You know, it's quite fun to watch, really, because he whips those shots in with a bit of juice on them.
Nice body work, sets up the shot up top. Nice counter there.
It's separation, and they can only create that.
Oh, there it is!
By landing shots like that more often.
You know, but he's also silky with it. One thing that I've spotted, I did a film study about Henry Lebron. I'll leave the link up here, that I've spotted that he still does in a fight, in his last fight, and that I think Diaz can take advantage of. And then when he backs up into the ropes, right, and he'll do this like Philly shell, but his right hand is all the way down, like literally resting on his leg, and his hand is up here most of the time. Not every single time, but most of the time. And he was doing it in, you know, several fights before. He's still doing it now. So where I'm going with this is, if you are Diaz and you do see him backing up into the corner, by default, or anytime he feels like a little bit threatened, he just does this move, and there is loads of space for just a straight right hand to the belly, come back with a left hook. Diaz has quite wide punches sometimes.
Here in round 3.
Stevenson saw that right hand.
And I've seen some hooks get in from the wings against LeBron.
Made De Los Santos fade with pressure, and that was controlling space right now. Got caught with that right hook.
Look, sometimes he's cute with it. Sometimes he is tidy and he does catch the shots, but almost always he diverts to his arm, like I said, just protecting his leg, which isn't. He's got to cup it in a little bit if he's doing this, because there's so much space in there. A straight right hand to the belly is absolutely crying out for that. So I just think Diaz's pressure, slow, systematic pressure, you know, will be more apparent in the back end of the fight, because he doesn't stop trying to win, as I mentioned. And LeBron, you know, sometimes, you know, I'm not saying he gasses out, but he because his moves are, you know, so kind of fluid, sometimes it looks like he's a bit too loose, and I'm wondering if that's just from him being tired, you know, because his punches do get, he tends to slightly lose his shape a little bit, but that's just from this style of boxing, boxing off the back foot, putting a little bit, quite a lot into his shots, actually, the counter shots. You know, he'll really dig those shots in, which takes a lot out of you, but when they land, they do land, and they're nice. So I just think for LeBron, it'd be wise for him to manage the power on his shots, you know. And as I said in the Matthias Paro fight, one of the keys to victory for Paro, I was like, don't try to knock Matthias out. And that ended up being true because Paro came in with like 60%. You see the shots he was putting 60, 70%. The more juice you put into the shots, the more energy yours is going to go down. And Diaz, like, honestly, I don't think anyone else outside of Navarrete can knock this guy out. Maybe, but if you saw, I mean, just saw how tough he was. When he gets dropped, he comes back. He's in great shape. He looks like he's strong. He's got physical strength. So I would say don't load up too much early on if you're LeBron. You know, just stick to your silky boxing. Stay sharp with the punches. Don't get countered, and keep your energy tank because you're going to need it in those late rounds. Because Diaz is going to come on. He's going to come on because he's, like I said, an incredibly tough man. And like, I just love that about his style. He just never stops trying to win. We could get a really good fight. This is an excellent fight. I really think it could steal the show. I know Boots, you know, is probably going to steal the show with a highlight reel knockout over Avanesyan. I mean, that's going to be ugly to watch, to be honest. At some point, he's going to start teeing off on him. But this one, in terms of what it means to, it's like, you know, I wouldn't say a major crossover, but Diaz, you know, he's running out of time at that top level, and he's almost turning into a slight gatekeeper, really, you know, which is not necessarily a bad thing because of how tenacious he is and because of how prepared he is. He's always going to be in fights like this where he's going to give a contender or a prospect, excuse me, a hard time. And I'm expecting him to give LeBron somewhat of a hard time in the back end of the fight. I think LeBron will come out. He's got a nice jab as well. He's got a nice, beautiful backhand. He's got a beautiful variety of punches, actually, Henry Lebron. From your jabs to your right hooks to the stomach, to your hooks to the head, left hand to the solar plexus, straight left hand, chopping left hand. I mean, he's got a beautiful arsenal. He's going to need to use it all. Just, you know, be wise with how much power you're putting into him. Save it for the back end. Be smart, you know. And you should be able to come out with a points victory. I'm gonna say Henry Lebron on points, probably like an MD. I don't think he's gonna be a UD. I think he's gonna have some issues down the back end because of Diaz's tenacity. But Christopher Diaz is no joke, and he's like, you know, after watching that Navarrete fight in the back end of it, I'm just like, man, I love that about a fighter, and he's gonna come to do that, and he'll always be put in fights, like I said, at the top level, whether it be a gatekeeper or not, to test these younger fighters, you know. Actually, you know, I forgot to pull up the tail of the tape. Let me pull it up right now because I meant to do this earlier. But you can see, you know, Diaz is 3 years older. He's got a much shorter reach, actually, that sticks out. And, you know, that's why he tries to get on the inside, and he maybe, you know, he negates the reach by his counter punching ability as well. But he'll try and press you. And, you know, the reach doesn't always mean that much, but it could mean something in this fight if LeBron keeps this distance, uses his jab, uses that backhand. And then obviously you can see Diaz has got a bit more power. But, you know, generally speaking, they're quite evenly matched. And I'm expecting a really good fight. And I'm expecting Henry Lebron to win some nice, clean early rounds with some good silky boxing off the back foot, you know, and then when it gets a little deeper, I actually need to check whether this is a 10-round fight or a 12-round fight. I'll put it on the screen just to double check it. It might, usually 12-rounders, you know, obviously it's for titles, but sometimes they'll throw in some random title, but I don't know if this is that. But I will put it on the screen. But let me know your thoughts on this fight and who you think you have. Do you think Diaz has got the ability to stop LeBron, or really? I think if Diaz is gonna win, it's probably by stoppage. You know, obviously LeBron's a better boxer, but can he get to LeBron? Can he do enough damage to stop him? Because he's got a little bit of power. He's got the physical strength Diaz does. Question is, can he impose it? You know. I think, as I said, I think he will be able to a little bit late when LeBron gets a bit more tired and Diaz gets energized, because, like I said, he's coming to win, and that's a great hallmark for a fighter when they're, you know, down and out and they're still there trying to win. You got my ultra respect for that. But let me know your thoughts. I probably missed something in this video. I had loads to talk about, and sometimes I wonder if I should keep a notepad or something, but I just like to free flow what I'm saying. And, you know, I watched quite a bit of footage last night and this morning, so it's fresh in the memory. But I always watch them back and think, damn, I missed that. So fill in the gaps if you need to. And yeah, I hope you guys get to enjoy the fights next Saturday. And I'll be looking forward to that one for sure. But let me know your thoughts. I'm out of here. Peace and love. Thank you.
Diaz continues the snowplow forward here in round 3. And just punch and hope.
He knows every aspect of the ring. That's why I say he's ready for it. He got hit with a big shot right there.
Lebron is doing that now. Is just that.
There it is again.
Nice left from Henry Lebron. Triple shot there.
Boxing.
On it is.